Adanna grew up loved and pampered. She is an only child of insanely rich parents. Adanna doesn't understand what lack is. She doesn't understand the word manage. Neither does she understand save or budget. Did you say work hard? Adanna doesn't know that either. Her friends, Uchoma and Njide, were in the same class with her on campus. They all read together. That is, the day Adanna wants to read. She never troubles herself for anything. Now they are all graduated and working, except Adanna. She lives in a beautiful duplex her father gave her on her graduation day. She of course has attendants of different categories. 2 cooks, 2 gatemen, 2 cleaners, 2 errand ladies, and a wardrobe manager. She has a spa in her compound with workers. No, Adanna doesn't go to work anywhere. The investments her parents made for her pay her tens of thousands of dollars monthly. Adanna can eat? Ha ha ha. It's as if her hard work appears only in eating. And she feels it's quite normal. Guys come around her because they like the fun she is to be with. Also, and indeed most importantly, they love the money she throws around. One steady young man is Nnaemeka. She has been waiting for Nnaemeka to propose marriage to her. Nnaemeka didn't think he wanted to marry Adanna. In fact, Nnaemeka told Ekong, his friend, Ekong, the truth is, I love the money Adanna throws around, but as for marrying her, no, how come? How would I even go out with her in public? How would I introduce her to my disciplined and principled parents? Remember, my dad was a school principal. No, her weight is far too much for my liking. She has taken me out a few times and you should have seen her eating and eating and eating, ordering more and more foods. She was the one paying, so I didn't mind. She even asked them to package some for me to take home. Ekong asked, so why do you keep going to her if you don't want to marry her? She's obese and you are not proud of her. So why keep hanging around her? Nnaemeka answered, well, you know, Adanna loves me and gives me anything I want, and I mean anything. I go to her to chill out. Well, it's been over 2 years since Nnaemeka and Adanna started seeing each other. And last month was Nnaemeka's birthday. Adanna bought him a brand new Prado Jeep. A brand new Prado Jeep. Nnaemeka was embarrassed as he walked into Adanna's compound where she threw him a party with the car parked there. A gift obligates you, and Nnaemeka knew this. While people were eating and talking, Nnaemeka went to a corner to talk with Adanna. Eddie, why? Why this lavish and expensive car for me? Why? Adanna said, what else could I have given you that would make sense? I wanted something bigger, but delivery date would have been 1 month later. So I picked this. So please, just manage it. Nnaemeka was dumbfounded. He said, but, Adanna put her hand across his mouth to shut him up. In a few days, Nnaemeka came back to see Adanna. Adanna asked, where have you been? If your phone wouldn't connect, and you didn't bother to call? Nnaemeka said, no, I sent a message. I was suddenly sent to Bayelsa by my boss. There was no network there. Adanna asked, "So when am I seeing your parents? If you don't want to say it or you kind of need help to say it, okay, here, when are we getting married? We are old enough to make our decisions, right?" Nnaemeka stammered. Okay, I have been thinking about it, huh? Adanna said, "Get that box on the table, the small black box, huh? Open it. It has a diamond ring. My finger is here, ready." Nnaemeka slipped the ring into her finger and gave her a peck. In 2 days, Nnaemeka picked Adanna to go see first her parents. They were excited and treated them to a great lunch. They even gave Nnaemeka a package of a designer wristwatch as a welcome to the family gift, their only son-in-law. Nnaemeka was very happy and grateful. He kept musing to himself if he was really ready for this adventure. In another few days, they went to see Nnaemeka's parents. His mom was tight-faced. Immediately she saw her heavyweight would-be daughter-in-law. Adanna gave her a box of diamond trinkets with a bag containing 2 million naira cash, and gave Nnaemeka's father a designer wristwatch as well as 3 million naira cash in a bag. Every objection ended. They welcomed Adanna and told Nnaemeka to make sure he takes good care of her. They started preparing for the wedding. This is going to be one of the most elaborate weddings ever. Adanna is 2 years older than Nnaemeka, and she is the money bag here. Nnaemeka wanted to continue going to work, but Adanna objected. She asked him to resign the job that she had enough money to pay him that salary monthly. Sadly, while Adanna means well, Nnaemeka is not settled with this arrangement. He loves the money from her, but not the demands for commitment. He didn't want to really and heartily commit to the relationship. Nnaemeka loves partying. He loves clubbing. Adanna doesn't go for all this for the obvious reasons: mobility difficulties because of obesity, and low self-esteem because of the same excess weight. Occasionally, Nnaemeka would tell her he's going out with Ekong and Yinka and end up in a club with some chicks and come to see Adanna smelling alcohol and ladies' designer perfumes after. Adanna sensed what was going on and confronted him. Of course, Nnaemeka denied. One day, Nnaemeka devised a scheme. Since Adanna has way too much money, why not build or buy an estate? Nnaemeka showed her the proposal and convinced her that it would be a very profitable venture. It was going to cost about 2 billion naira. She agreed with him, and Nnaemeka jumped at the opportunity. The estate of about 200 duplexes became functional in about 6 months. Nnaemeka was seeing the kind of money he had never dreamt would ever be possible for him. Soon, Nnaemeka disappeared. All the arrangements for wedding, the event planners both from Nigeria and the US had been paid. Cake was coming from Dubai, fully paid for. Their rings would come from a designer jewelry maker in Belgium, also paid for. 2 weeks to the wedding, Nnaemeka was nowhere to be found. His parents didn't know where he was either. Adanna was upset. She was completely devastated. Unknown to Adanna, Nnaemeka sold the estate and pocketed the money. He married a former girlfriend and moved with her to Spain. He wanted to just start life afresh in Spain with his babe. Chai! Adanna's friends moved into her house to keep her company, console her and tell her it's not the end of the world, that life goes on with or without Nnaemeka. In about 6 months, she went with her driver to pick up a particular designer bag that had just been launched by the designer in New York a few weeks earlier. While there, Kobina walked in to buy a bag and a wristwatch for his mom's 60th birthday. He paid and was about to leave when he saw Adanna walking with difficulty. His heart went out to her. He greeted her and they exchanged pleasantries. Kobina is trained. He is very respectful. And he treats women with such care and respect that you would wonder if he came from the moon. They exchanged numbers. Kobina's mom's birthday is at the weekend. On phone, he asked Adanna if she could attend the celebration. Adanna didn't want to be a burden on a guy she had just met. But Kobina reminded her that he was the one doing the inviting. Finally, she agreed. She went early, greeted mommy and wished her a happy birthday. Kobina's mom and Adanna struck it off immediately. Adanna is likable. She's just overweight. Kobina's sisters teased him for bringing home a super obese lady. It didn't stop Kobina. In an exchange, Kobina asked his beautiful chick sisters and said, "But I have brought home those chicks you like. And what happened? It's not about being slick, being chic. It's the heart that counts. When they shout at you, you would forget how slick they are. When they want to drag you with their mean heart, you will not remember how beautiful and slim they are. The point is, you are teasing me. I don't even know if she is free or not." His sister called Uche said, "Okay, preach on. We are watching." The other sister, Obioma, said, "Wouldn't you see the outside before you see the inside? Anyway, we did. Let's see if it works for both of you this time. You are overdue to leave the bachelor market, I beg. You have been there far too long." In 2 weeks, Kobina convinced Adanna to go out with him. Kobina was driving. He drove to scenic places and they were just talking and talking about themselves. Not money, not business. Even though Kobina owns a good helicopter hire business, he doesn't flaunt it. They became very good friends. Instead of staying home all the time, Kobina would take Adanna out. They would go out to eat together. Kobina asked her, "Adanna, why would you feel self-conscious that you are fat? In this life, there are only 3 sizes. We don't have many options, not many choices. You are either fat, or medium, or thin. Just like you are either male or female. There are no in-betweens. If you are fat, you are fat. You owe me no apologies for that. And you owe nobody any apologies for that. Lastly, you don't owe yourself any apologies. If you, for any reason, don't like your weight, find out what's making you too fat or too thin and do it differently. I don't think your weight should be a cause for unhappiness or low self-esteem." Adanna said, "Kobi, the issue is people glare at me and it makes me feel self-conscious. Also, I find that my movement is awkward and so I don't like to go out. It also makes me not like me. It makes me not like myself. People talk about self-love, but I don't think I have that for me. I hate mirrors. The one in my room is covered with cloth. I only use a hand mirror to check my makeup. Kobina said, Adanna, you mean you have been living with this? No, I am not a therapist by any chance, but I know that basically you ought to have good thoughts about you and towards you. From what you have just shared with me, you don't celebrate who you are, and that's not wonderful. And I would ask, if you don't mind, why don't you celebrate you, Adanna? Adanna was pensive and said, well, I think I don't look good to people and also to me. And it's as if I have nothing to offer anyone except money and more money. Kobina said, and when you meet people like me that money doesn't shake, what do? Adanna said, I feel really small, empty. I feel really, really ugly. Kobina said, enough, Adanna. God didn't create you empty. He didn't make you worthless. You are full, an embodiment of great goodness. He made you and loaded you before you knew the value of money. It's difficult to buy love with money. Ladies have come to me not because of me, but because of what money they think I have or money they think they can get out of me. A good love life cannot work that way. We have only one life here and now. I believe we should handle it with care, doing whatever it is that would make our stay here worthwhile. It was a great outing, the best time Adanna has ever had with any man, and she means ever. Another day, a cool Saturday, Kobina came to pick Adanna for an outing. This time around, they went to the beach, and their talks continued. Kobina asked, so why don't you have a job or a business you do? Adanna said, I see business or work as an opportunity to earn more money. I have more than enough money. And we may go. Remember the guy I told you about that I last dated? He stole over 2 billion naira from me and ran away. I hear he's in Spain now. I cried. I really wept. Not for the money, but for losing one that I thought was a friend. We were engaged to marry. We had bought this and that. We had paid for this and that. By we, I mean me. He didn't contribute a kobo. And then suddenly he disappeared. My parents started investing for me since birth. So the money I earn monthly from the investments are far more than enough. Kobina said, that's great, but I don't think your parents did that for you not to work. I believe they did that for you in order to make you never worry for money or worry about money. It's only the people with poverty mentality that work for money. We work in order to contribute as human beings. We work to add value. We get paid along the line to meet our needs and more. We work to make an impact. When you work, it's not for salary, though that's part of the equation, but it's to fulfill some role on earth. The earth should know you exist. When you work, you learn, you grow. Your brain is more active because you have to think before you can contribute. Adanna said, Kobina, you know so much. I don't want to work in my parents' businesses. They would love it, but I wouldn't want to. Kobina said, that's okay. You could even work remotely. It doesn't have to be in a place where you physically have to go to, where your physical presence is needed daily. Maybe once or twice a month you could be asked to go on site for some meeting or training or interaction with your team. A good job also teaches you how to relate and work as a team with others. Meanwhile, Nnaemeka has been deported back to Nigeria. He joined the League of Big Boys in Spain and started taking things. His wife tried to stop him, but he lashed out at her and actually beat her up one day. Police got involved. He was picked up. The lady quickly filed for divorce. It went in her favor. Everything, including the house he bought as soon as they arrived there, went to the lady. Next, he was put in the next flight back to Nigeria, empty-handed. His brain went off, and he could be seen on major streets begging and still taking something whenever he gets it. Friends have tried to help him, taking him to psychiatric hospitals to no avail. Adanna tried to get into a few organizations and was rejected for being overweight. They didn't say so, but she could see the twists on the faces of the interview panelists whenever she entered the room. Fortunately, they didn't really know she was a billionaire looking for a job. A multi-billionaire looking for a job. But they body shamed her and rejected her. Adanna therefore accepted to work in Kobina's company, but remotely. She's taking life positively more seriously. Kobina is more regular at Adanna's house, and Adanna feels very grateful to him for the positive changes she sees inside her and even in her body. She has a lot more energy. She has a better attitude to life. She understands what it means to love and be loved. She eats far less, and her body is showing it. She's taking it easy on herself, not jumping any process. And above all, she's happy from deep down. Finally, one day, Adanna had a team meeting to attend at Kobina Helicopters headquarters, and it was Adanna's birthday. The company prepared a surprise for her. Kobina too. The special cake they had for her had Kobina's beautiful diamond ring placed just under the knife. She cut the cake and there was some noise. She paused, looked up, questioning the laughing colleagues. They chanted, "Bring it out! Bring it out!" Kobina went on his knee and took the ring from her and slipped into her finger. Adanna was teary. Tears started streaming down her face. And who wouldn't be? A beautiful year passed since the ring, and they had a large and beautiful wedding. Wow! Where are the Kobinas of our time? What a young man! Have you ever met or interacted with a Kobina? Do you think Adanna's life before she met Kobina was good and fulfilling? She could buy anyone with money. But to what end? Nnaemeka showed it's not by money. Can love really be bought with money? Yes, money is very important, but can it buy love? Well, let's know what your thoughts are. Let's know what you have to say on this at the comment section below. Please encourage us to roll out more African folk tales, more African real life stories by giving this video a thumbs up, and also subscribe to our channel if you haven't already done so. Yes, please remember to click the bell icon so you would be among the first to know when we upload another very interesting story video. And please share our story videos with your friends and family. Thank you for watching. Thank you for being there for us. This is African Folktales ChinChin. Till our next video, remain truly amazing. Goodbye.